What is up, my dudes and dudettes? We are back. Behind that camera is Colleen, and I am Todd. And if you are new here, we make these insane, well, now that I think about it, these insane videos of us converting this 2022 Sprinter cargo van you see behind me here into the ultimate adventure vehicle on wheels. Today, we are coming to you live from the driveway where we are talking about these little babies. These are the Mondo Mudguards from Terrawagen, a really cool product that allows you to kick back the mud flap and get a little bit more space in here so that you can get big tire ready on your 4x4. Why do we need to get big tire ready on the 4x4? Well, because this is an adventure van and we are planning on taking this thing off-road. And well, let's be honest, it just looks a lot cooler too. No shame in admitting that. Anyways, let's see how we installed these little cuties. Let's get into it.
Step number one is to get turned, because we're about to get big tire ready on our 4x4. In addition to our own state of being turned up, you need to turn the wheels of the van towards the direction of the side you are planning to work on. This gives us the space we need to carry on to step numero dos, that's 2 in Espanol, removing the mud flap, which is held on by 2 T25 Torx screws along the outside edge and 2 additional 10mm plastic hex nuts, one on the inside and another one down underneath the van. Oh yay, more laying on the ground. With these 4 items removed, the mud flap pops right off. Yay! With the mud flap out of the way, we can remove what Terrawagen refers to as the cladding, but we aren't too fancy here and, well, slightly immature, so we're going to call it the wedgie. To remove the wedgie, you use a trim removal tool to get under the tighty-whitey clips, removing them from the holes. You might need to get a tight grip and yank a bit if the wedgie is really stuck. Alright, let's graduate from the second grade and use a 10mm socket to remove the 3 top bolts on the sill. You can bend this piece to the side and out. Mine had a bunch of redwood needles, dirt, and a couple of dead spiders inside. There's one more bolt that needs to be removed underneath the van. To be honest, this one is kind of a pain because not only is the nut caked in sealant, but the threads are too. Sizing up to an 11mm can be helpful here, or just jam the 10mm socket on it and go to town. In order to remove it from here, we need to cut the sealant. I used a sharp razor to score along the intersection and then pried the piece out and towards the rear of the vehicle. If any sealant wasn't coming loose, I'd hit it again with the razor one more time. Before you go tossing that piece in the metal recycling bin, we need to harvest the 2 speed nuts for use later on. Next, I trimmed the excess sealant left behind with a razor, making sure the area was nice and flat. Now we're ready to mark the hammer zone, where tactical tapping, percussive persuasion, mechanical negotiation, and fitment by force is going to take place. Here's a freeze frame to get a good look before...
Stop! Hammer time!
You can't touch this. Royalty free, can't touch this. Yo, I told you, boy, we're doing the best we can without infringing on copyrights. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. Look, man, you can't touch this. At this point, it's a good idea to check the fit of the part, making sure the hammered portion aligns with the curve of the Mondo and there's not interference with the leftover sealant. It should fit flush with the rest of the vehicle. Now, because the hammering and scraping are pretty violent operations, there's a chance the paint and seam sealer were damaged in the process. Since it's important to prevent corrosion and rust, we first cleaned the area up nicely with some isopropyl alcohol and then added our favorite rust prevention paint of choice, Rust Bullet. I was not shy with the Rust Bullet here since the whole area ends up being covered, and it's better to be safe than sorry because 1 ounce of prevention is worth 1 ton of a cure. While the Rust Bullet dried, honestly, the only negative I've found using this stuff is its 2-hour dry time. I needed to remove and modify the fender bracket. This is probably the worst part of the whole process, and I wish the Terrawagen kit came with a new set of powder-coated brackets already bent to the correct shape. The idea here is you're supposed to bend them towards the rear of the van by 2 inches, which means you'll need to remember each side's orientation and understand which direction that needs to be. Once determined, you can use a piece of paper as a gauge drawing the desired angle with an opposite leg of 2 inches. No need to calculate the actual angle here, but let's drop a trig joke anyways. Why did Pythagoras order a teacup of bathwater? Well, because he only wanted to sew Toa. Ah dear. Anyways, you'll take this bracket to a vise, use gloves or a towel, and bend it the correct way while checking it periodically. I bent both brackets using slightly different approaches, and both never really fit back on the van the same way because when you bend a bracket that's already bent like this, the material tends to bulge up on that inner acute angle, which is why I think it would make this so much more simple if these were just included out of the box. Anyways, it's not too terrible and we made it work. We then took the bracket back to the van and reinstalled it using a 10mm socket and the plastic hex nut. You got to be really careful with these things. You can easily strip the threads if you lever the bracket around too much with them on. Ask us how we found out. I then cut the little paracord fender liner holder and levered the liner over the bracket stud. This is the levering I was warning about here. Go slow and maybe order some backup nuts if you're the type that usually breaks things. Next, we need a little bit more prep before installing the Mondos. The speed nuts we removed from the old van piece go on the side with the 2 holes, and then we need to modify the wedgie. There will be a new screw that gets added to help hold this piece on since the tighty-whitey plastic clips in the wedgie don't clip into the Mondo as well as they did in the previous metal piece. So we need to mark and drill that with a 1/4 inch drill bit. Once the hole has been drilled, we can add the additional black speed nut that Terrawagen sends for the Mondo to the hole we used as a guide. Now we need to trim the actual fender liner a bit. I marked it roughly according to the picture in the manual. Terrawagen prints these in black and white in the box, which is really hard to see, so I've added the color image here. I used a sharp utility knife to do the deed. It worked okay, but not like a hot knife through butter or like a cold spoon through frozen molasses. Up next, the fender itself needs a little trimming and modding. Again, I marked it roughly according to the manual and again used the utility knife in sort of a poke/sawing motion to slowly work my way around the curve. I then came back with my wood whittling skills I picked up in Boy Scouts to clean things up a bit. The last surgical procedure is an additional feature where I show you how to slot with a drill bit like I'm a teacher. Take a seat, sir, on a metaphorical bleacher, press the trigger and slide up like the gaze to heaven of a preacher. Which is a really fancy way of saying make a 3/4 inch long by 1/4 inch wide vertical slot. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Mondo install. Make sure to tuck the lower fender liner into the Mondo Mudguard and install one of the upper screws loosely to hold things in place. Then I like to go under the van to install the lower screw and nut that's included in the Mondo kit. After that, moving back up to the top to install the other factory bolts. Make sure to line up the screws with their previous locations and snug everything down in an alternating fashion. Once everything is tightened, I put the mudflap on next, making sure to put the lower bracket stud in the lower flange first. I find you have to lever and pull up on the mudflap a bit more than before to get it into place. This is because we fundamentally changed the geometry a bit. I then reinstalled the 2 outer torque screws and the 2 plastic M10 nuts to hold it on. There's an additional step at the end for an extra 1/2 inch of clearance, but honestly I would do this regardless. It makes the mud flap look much more natural and the overall install a lot more solid. You take a 1/8 inch drill bit and drill a hole a 1/2 inch to the outside of an injection molding artifact. You take the provided 2-inch screw and install it in that hole. Do not tighten it too tight as the screw head can pull through the plastic if you do so. Our time together is coming to an end. The last piece of this puzzle is putting the wedgie back on. If you notice the wedgie isn't quite sticking as well as it did before, you are not alone. Do your best to get it really tucked up in there, and then Terrawagen has one more trick up its sleeve to help us out. Remember that hole we drilled earlier? Use the provided Phillips screw to more rigidly attach the wedgie.
Well, my van fam, that wraps up another video in the Adventure Van Build series. We really hope you enjoyed it, and we absolutely love these Terrawagen Mondo Mudguards. In fact, so much that we added Terrawagen to the brands that we carry on our website. So if you're looking for these or Terrawagen products, you can buy them directly from us at moonrakerdesignco.com. It will really help us out and continue to support the channel. Now, these are definitely DIY beginner friendly. The only thing you have to be comfortable with is pounding the out of your van with a hammer. And honestly, that even took me by surprise. I had to hesitate and build up the courage to do it, even though I've cut all these holes in this van so far. But once you get past the first one, the second one is no problem. The total cost is about $205. We love these so much that we even started stocking them on our website. You can buy them directly from us, or you can also buy them directly from Terrawagen. We think this is the best solution in terms of keeping that OEM, factory look, as well as giving you that extra space on the front wheel well there for bigger tires. Now, the total time is about 2 to 3 hours per side, mostly because for us, we use rust bullet and that takes 2 hours to dry. It's by far the best rust preventative paint that we've found. It dries super, super hard, almost bulletproof. Maybe that's why it's called rust bullet, who knows? And so it's about an hour for the other auxiliary activities. You can definitely do this in a 1 weekend day project. If you like what we are doing, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really does help us out. If you have any questions or comments about what you've seen in this video, drop those down in the comments section below. It has been a priority of mine to respond to each and every one of those because I want this to feel like the community we're trying to build here. And on your way down there, if you feel so inclined, go ahead and slap that subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Mudguards. These help the bottom of my heart. Okay, why were we here originally? Oh yes, the Mondo Mudguards. Let's
run out of steam.